In the shadowy world of international maritime trade, a high-stakes cat-and-mouse game has been playing out, far from the public eye. The players, the United States Navy and a fleet of elusive vessels known as Russia's Ghost Fleet. These tankers are at the heart of a global effort to circumvent economic sanctions, carrying millions of barrels of crude oil across the oceans. But what exactly is this Ghost Fleet, and why is the US Navy so determined to track it? Today, we're diving deep into the murky waters of this modern-day naval pursuit, uncovering the truth behind the headlines. It all started with the sanctions imposed on Russia to cripple its ability to finance its military operations. Western nations, led by the G7, put a price cap on Russian seaborne oil. Any company in a G7 country, from insurers to financiers, is barred from dealing with Russian crude sold above $60 a barrel. The goal was simple: cut off a major revenue stream. But Russia had a plan B. Instead of relying on Western shipping and insurance, they began assembling a massive, clandestine fleet of their own. These are the ships that make up the Ghost Fleet. So, what makes a ship a ghost? These aren't spectral apparitions gliding through the fog. They're very real, often older tankers bought from various international sellers. Their defining characteristic is how they operate. They frequently go dark by turning off their automatic identification system, or ICE transponders. This system is crucial for maritime safety, broadcasting a ship's identity, position, and course to other vessels and coastal authorities. By switching it off, these tankers effectively vanish from public tracking systems, making their movements incredibly difficult to follow. They also engage in ship-to-ship transfers in the open ocean, another tactic to obscure the origin of their cargo. One tanker might load oil at a Russian port, sail to a discrete location, and then transfer its cargo to another vessel, which then delivers it to the final destination. This laundering of the oil's origin makes it nearly impossible for buyers to know for sure where it came from. This shadow fleet is estimated to consist of hundreds of vessels, ranging from aging tankers nearing the end of their service life to more modern ships, acquired through a web of shell companies. The ownership is deliberately opaque, often registered in countries with lax maritime regulations. This creates a complex legal and logistical challenge for anyone trying to enforce the sanctions. Who do you hold accountable when the ship's owner is a shell company in one country, the flag it flies is from another, and the crew is from a third? It's a logistical nightmare designed to exploit the gaps in international maritime law. Enter the United States Navy. Along with its allies, the US has taken on the monumental task of monitoring these phantom ships across vast expanses of ocean. This isn't about firing cannons or blockading ports in a traditional sense. It's a 21st century naval operation relying heavily on intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. The US Navy uses a combination of satellites, long-range patrol aircraft like the P-8 Poseidon, and surface warships to piece together the puzzle of the Ghost Fleet's movements. They're looking for patterns, for ships that suddenly disappear from tracking systems only to reappear days or weeks later, thousands of miles away. They monitor key choke points, narrow straits, and canals like the Suez Canal or the Strait of Malacca, where these tankers must pass. One of the most dramatic recent examples of this chase involved a vessel called the Turbo. This aging tanker, over 25 years old, was found drifting in the waters off Southeast Asia. It had no known insurance, a common trait of the Ghost Fleet, making it a massive environmental and financial risk. If a ship like the Turbo were to have an accident, a major oil spill could occur with no clear party to hold responsible for the cleanup costs, which can run into billions of dollars. The US Treasury Department had already flagged the Turbo's owners for their links to the Russian oil trade. The fact that it was found abandoned highlights the perilous nature of this shadow industry. These are often poorly maintained ships sailing with skeleton crews, pushing the limits of maritime safety. The US Navy's role is not just to track, but to gather evidence. The data collected from surveillance helps the Treasury Department and other agencies build cases against companies and individuals violating sanctions. By identifying the ships, their routes, and their final destinations, authorities can apply pressure on ports and countries that might be tempted to accept this illicit cargo. It's a delicate diplomatic dance. The US can't simply seize every ship it suspects. Instead, it uses the information to warn potential buyers and insurers, making it riskier and less profitable to deal with the ghost fleet. The strategy is to make the entire shadow operation so difficult and costly that it becomes unsustainable. The economic implications are huge. Russia is a major global oil producer, and completely removing its supply from the market would cause a massive spike in energy prices, hurting economies worldwide. The price cap was designed as a compromise to keep Russian oil flowing, to prevent a global supply shock, but to drastically reduce the profits Russia makes from it. The ghost fleet is Russia's primary tool for undermining this strategy. By selling oil through this network, often just below the market price but well above the $60 cap, Russia continues to generate significant revenue. Every successful journey by a ghost tanker is a win for Moscow, and a challenge to the effectiveness of Western sanctions. The environmental danger is another critical aspect of this story. As we saw with the Turbo, many of these ships are old and not up to modern safety standards. The legitimate shipping industry is heavily regulated, with strict requirements for insurance, maintenance, and inspections. The ghost fleet operates outside this system. An oil spill from one of these uninsured, aging vessels could be an environmental catastrophe. The cleanup would be a logistical and financial nightmare, likely leaving coastal communities and ecosystems to bear the brunt of the damage. The chase, therefore, is also about preventing a potential environmental disaster waiting to happen. This ongoing naval operation is a fascinating glimpse into the future of economic warfare. It's less about direct military confrontation and more about information dominance, financial pressure, and international cooperation. The US Navy and its allies are using every tool at their disposal to shine a light on this shadow economy. They are sharing intelligence with port authorities, insurance companies, and flag registries, creating a network of vigilance that spans the globe. The message is clear: the world is watching, but the ghost fleet is adaptable. As one route becomes too risky, another is found. As one set of shell companies is exposed, another is created. This is a constantly evolving challenge. The success of the US Navy and its partners won't be measured by the number of ships they seize, but by their ability to disrupt and dismantle the network that supports them. It's a long, patient game of attrition. The goal is to make the risk of participating in this illicit trade outweigh the reward. By squeezing the network from all sides financially, legally, and logistically, the hope is to slowly but surely choke off this vital revenue stream. This story is far from over. As long as the sanctions remain in place, Russia's ghost fleet will continue to sail the world's oceans, and the US Navy will be in pursuit. It's a silent, high-stakes conflict playing out across the globe, with profound implications for international security, the global economy, and the health of our planet. The shadowy chase continues, a defining feature of our complex geopolitical landscape. What do you think about this modern naval game of cat and mouse? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. From the front lines of global events, thanks for watching.